Alright, so you fast forward 1 week. I got my new American Express card. I got my new debit cards in the mail. Everything's fine there. Um, I got the original letters from my doctors, so I could go back to Social Security. And um, uh, then today, being a week later, I was like, okay, it's time for my big trans day take two. We'll see how it goes. So I go to the Social Security building. I took my original letters, and I'm waiting, and guy calls me up, and it was the same guy. I recognize his voice. I don't know if he remembered me or not. But I told him again, I'm here for the name and gender change on my social security card. And he's like, okay, let me see what you got. Again, he said the same thing. So I showed him my original letters and my order for name change in the same form that I had brought last time. And he's kind of looking at it and he's reading it and he's like, okay, so is this like a complete transition? Like, are you done? And I didn't really know how to respond because obviously if you're hip with the trans community, you kind of like done, like that's kind of a stupid thing to ask, but obviously this guy working at Social Security wasn't, so I wasn't going to be like, well, are you trying to say I'm not trans enough or something like that? I mean, he would be like, what? So um I was like, well, he's like, well, like, have you had your surgery? And I was like, yeah, I've been on hormones for a couple weeks, and in a month or so they'll really kick in, and I've had my surgery, and all the letters are there. And he's like, oh yeah, sorry, I didn't really read all the letters. So he starts looking at my letters a little bit more, and it seemed to satisfy him. Um, Although looking back, like for future reference, if someone asks you if you're done, just say yeah. Just say yeah, I'm done. Like I'm trans, I'm transitioned. This is me. Like update my social security card. Like I don't even know why I didn't just say yeah. Like I was gonna get in some debate about like what trans enough is or what is done or done. I mean, he asked me, like I have the answer, so I should have just said yeah. So if any of you guys are doing that and they just ask you, like if you're done, just say yeah. I don't know why I didn't just say yeah. Like I was waiting for him to be like, no, you need a hysterectomy. Like this is Illinois, blah, or something. Anyway, just say yes. um, and then he kind of asked me like, would you mind if I ask you like some personal questions just for my own curiosity? And um, I was like, no, sure, that's fine. You can ask. It's like, you won't get offended? And I'm like, no. He's like, so, like, what's the deal? Like, you just wake up one day and you're like, and I'm like, well, no, it's not really like that. I mean, that's kind of a stupid question, but I don't think he knew what question to ask. I think he was genuinely curious and just really didn't know how or what he should be asking. So I was just really calm and just explained, male and female brains are a little bit different, and sometimes you have one brain born into a body that doesn't match the brain, and then people grow up with all sorts of anxiety and depression, and they just feel like their life is out of sync. The guy goes, sounds like my life. In their body, and then they're diagnosed with gender dysphoria, and the medical treatment is to make the body match the mind. So I guess that was good. I mean, he seemed satisfied with the answer. I don't know. Obviously, he just wanted to rip on his wife. So he seemed satisfied with that answer. Um, but yeah, then he gave me a receipt saying, I've applied for a new social security card, and it could take up to 2 weeks for me to receive the new card, and if I don't get it, blah blah, I should call. So that's kind of annoying because I have to wait 2 more weeks, and I'm hoping like I don't have some made up name on my social security card or something when that comes. Cross your fingers. I hope that gets approved. And then I went to the Bank of America to be like, dude, WTF? Why do I have a made up name on this new credit card? And I brought all the same documentation I brought the first time, copy of the order certified, copy of letters for the doctors, and my new ID. um, Guy was really nice. He was a very to each his own. He kind of said something when I told him I was trans, and I don't know if the guys were just trying to be mean to me or if they just really screwed up somehow, because I don't see like how if I gave him my ID and he looked at it and he punched it in the system, like how I possibly could have gotten some made up name. It just doesn't even make sense. So I was just like, I don't know if they were being mean or what, but can you please fix this? And he was very, to each his own. And he was really confused too as to how I could have gotten such a wacky card. Um, but yeah, he fixed it. He even got the whoever he needed on the phone and made sure They faxed over a name change document to the bank, and he gave that to me to fill out and told me, I have to mail it. So I have to fill out a form now, mail it in, and then wait for the mail to get that, and then for them to process that, and then send me the card. So it still really might be another week or two before I have my Social Security card and my last credit card. Actually, I have one more. I have a Citibank. Um, So it's kind of a hassle, but I just thought I should talk about it because it's part of my transition. It was my big trans days, and honestly, I was expecting a lot more people to be like rude. I mean, at the very least, there were a couple of those guys that were just kind of like, eh. But any of the women I spoke with were very like, oh, whatever makes you happy, and man, that last guy, he was really cool. So that was cool, and even though the Social Security guy was a little obviously conservative, uh, he wasn't rude, in the end. So he just did his job, I think. And I think, they kind of say sometimes when you go to Social Security, it's who you ask. So I think hopefully I got a guy that is the right one to ask for that change. Um, I just also wanted to ask, like I said, I didn't really know what to expect going out in the world, telling everyone I was trans and I needed my name and gender changed on my accounts everywhere. But I was kind of expecting people to heckle me and be really rude, and I was ready. Man, if anyone gave me trouble, I was going to be ready to be like, no, in your face, I have balls, fuck off and just do this. Luckily, I didn't have to deal with that. So, yeah. That's a good thing. I might have gotten kicked out by security or something, which would not have been a very good example at all to all the other trans people out there. But I mean, I was gonna stick up for myself. For like a conservative hick community, I'd say I got a pretty good response, and um, that's good. I mean, it's the Midwest, so whatever. But it's like the hick area of the Midwest. Uh, all right. Now I'm gonna go update about other things. So, new video time.